What's up, y'all? How's it, everybody? Okay, here we go. So it's been a while, I think maybe a week since I did my last public live stream. So thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to tell a quick story. 2011. I was applying for the Honolulu Police Department. And every time I'd fly to Honolulu, I'd stay with my boy Bryce. I told you guys about that. Good friend, like a brother to me. And when I was out there, he's trying to be a good host. So remember, he gave me his bedroom. He slept on the couch. He gave me his car to drive if I had interviews or a test to take or whatever it was. His skateboard or his bike, whatever I needed, surfboards. He's just taking care of me, right? Because that's what Bryce does, and that's what the people of Hawaii do. Honestly, it's just a thing. So he's taking care of me, and every time I'd go to a test or take an evaluation or do an interview, before that day, Bryce would be like, bro, let's go surf. I'll go get you something to eat. We'll go get a massage. I'm like, shoot, dude, that sounds great, right? Like, I don't know if I'd ever had a massage up until that point, right? And I'm not from Hawaii. I don't know what's going on. So, and Bryce had never done it. And he was like, yo, I've never done it. I want to go, but I want to bring somebody, you know what I mean? So I'm like, shoot, let's do it. So Bryce looks up massage schools in the area. Someone told him if you go to a massage school where they're training, trying to get hours, that it's cheaper per hour, right? We don't know what to expect. So he finds this massage school. It's like a training academy for massage students, and it's half the rate. Apparently, normal rate's $60. The student rate's $30, and then you can leave tips or whatever. But they're trying to get their hours. They get so many hours before they get certified. So we go to this spot. It's at 1750 Kalakaua. For any of my HPD in the house or anybody that lives townside, that's a building called Century Center. It's on the Mauka Cocoa Head corner of Kalakaua, Kapiolani. Nice big building. So we find our parking, get on the elevator, shoot the elevator up. Apparently, there's like two sides to the building because you could get off on two sides of the elevator. The one side is like the residential area. The other side is like the commercial area where you get shops and businesses and whatever. So we walk into this place. It's all clean and nice. There's like the boss or like the teacher. And then I remember they asked, do you want a male or a female? And it was all too fast for me, right? I didn't know there was, it's like I never thought about this, but I'm like, whatever. It doesn't matter. Bryce, it doesn't matter. And I'm a straight male. So when they asked me if I wanted male or female, like it threw me off because I was like, whoa, it doesn't matter. Like it's a massage, right? And I hadn't, my brain scrambled for a second, but I was like, doesn't matter. So they're like, well, we only got females. I was like, oh, okay, why did you ask? That was weird, but whatever. So my girl takes me, Bryce's girl takes him, and the teacher introduces us and was like, she's a student and this and that. Get my massage, and it was good. I mean, a massage and a massage, honestly, I don't know. I never had like a massage that was better than another massage or whatever. So get a massage. It was beautiful. I remember it was overlooking the ocean side, not the town side of Century Center. It was overlooking the ocean side. There was like this peaceful music. It's like that music that used to like in 80s and 90s martial arts films, like blood sport and kickboxer and all those Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bolo Young movies. It was like this peaceful music, there's beautiful flutes, there was like incense, and then it was sunset. And I just remember, I was like, this is really beautiful, man. I'm in Hawaii. I'm getting a massage, whatever. So, and in this place, they have you go down to your boxer, so your underwear. And then you get covered with like a sheet. And then they roll up the sheet when they do your legs, and then they roll the sheet down. And then they roll the sheet down from your back into your back, and they roll the sheet back because you could get cold. So I'm getting my massage. I'm like, this is amazing. When we're finished, I give the girl a tip, and I pay the $30 at the door, and then meet Bryce out in the hallway. And he says the same thing. He's like, that was cool. Sweet. So I was like, wow, nice. I feel nice and relaxed. Like I got my meeting tomorrow. I feel nice and relaxed. Like I can go in here confident. I had like a physical test or something coming up. So I'm like, I'm nice and relaxed and calm. Like, this is good, man. And Bryce is like, right, we should do this every time. I'm like, okay, cool. And I just remember thinking, man, this is awesome. I go back the next time, the same thing. Whatever appointments I had, Bryce is like, shoot, when'd you got your appointments? I was like, Thursday or whatever. He's like, all right, Wednesday night, we'll go get a massage. We'll go surf, we'll go eat, we'll get a massage. Cool, did it again. Third time we go out there, Bryce is like, yo, let's go, whatever. Boom, did it again. And I don't know if we use the same school because there's multiple schools. And he kept paying for him because he was like trying to be a blessing to me, right? And it was only $30 or whatever. But I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, I'm getting a massage. I remember telling my wife, like, we went out and got massages, and it was great. Well, I go to my background. I forget what it was. It was some meeting with my detective, maybe a clarification interview or something. And I remember my detective says, going through like the things I'd admitted to in my background packet. One of the questions had, have you ever seen a prostitute? I put no. And she says to me, so you said here you've never seen a prostitute. I said, yeah. She said, are you sure? And I said, I'm positive. I've never seen a prostitute. She said, well, have you ever been to a massage parlor? I said, yeah, I went to a massage parlor yesterday. Her jaw hit the ground. And if you guys watched episode 1 of Leaving the Dream, if you haven't, I'm going to leave it right here for you. I have episode 1 of Leaving the Dream. I'm leaving it in the live chat right now. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Most of you guys probably watched it. That's episode 1, Leaving the Dream. Okay. So Detective Higo was my background. She was my detective, and she was a hammer. She was straight up yelling at me. Like, I was nervous every time I talked to her. She had me jumping through all these hoops. And then she's like, have you gotten a massage? Have you been to a massage parlor? I said, well, yeah, of course. I just went yesterday, and I went like the last 2 or 3 times I came here. And she's like, well, you went and saw a prostitute. I'm like, no, I just went, I got a massage. She's like, you know that's a she's like, who you trying to fool? I'm like, well, why would I tell you that I went to a massage parlor if it didn't make sense to me? I'm like, I've never seen a prostitute, but I went to the massage parlor. I got a massage. What are you talking about? And she's like, where did you get this massage? I was like, Century Center? Oh, her head almost shot off her shoulders. She's like, Century Center? You mean to tell me you didn't see a prostitute? It's like, no. We go to this school. She's like, what did the girl do? I tell her, she gave me a massage. Just touched my muscles. That was it. And she grilled me for like 15 minutes. She didn't believe me. That's the truth. She didn't believe me. And I was tripping out. I was like, what is going on? And I read this in my journal. I was keeping a journal at the time because I didn't want to forget what was happening. And so I wrote in my journal, like, I couldn't understand why she was sweating me on this. Well, fast forward 2 years. and I'm working in town, and all of a sudden we're getting like massage parlor hits on prostitution stings. Boom, 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 boom. And they're all in Century Center. And you around Honolulu long enough, you will start to learn how that works and what that is. So I tell that story because for somebody that doesn't know that culture or has never been around it, like at the time, like there's not even massage parlors around where I lived at the time. Now we get tons of them. And I remember hearing stories or seeing movies where they talked about happy ending massage parlors. And I thought they're very far and few and far between, however you say that. That they were the exception, not the rule, until I moved to Honolulu. And I am telling you guys, all of them. It's got one Asian name, Orchid, Lotus, Mantis. It's a happy endings massage parlor. Beauty, Queen Spa, Cherry Spa, Lucky Spa, Asian Spa, China Doll Spa. If it's got an Asian name and it's advertising Asian massage or Asian spa, it's on Happy Endings Massage Parlor. Guaranteed. 100%. Now, can you get a massage at these places? Yes. And I'll get into more of that later. A lot of these places do have massages. These girls have to give massages. A lot of them have to get licensed and go through the whole deal. There's like work visas involved. So they actually have to have visas and do this kind of work. But the extracurricular stuff, which we call extras, or sometimes they call full service, that's in addition to the massage. So there's forums and there's websites you can go on and all this stuff that all the undercovers will go on, and that's how they'll catch people because they advertise on like back pages and all these kind of things. So that's a real thing. If you see the one down the corner from you, you know, like it could be in residential neighborhoods. They actually got like code words for ones that are in residential neighborhoods. You know, there's this one house, Kalani Way. Anybody who lives in town, you know, Kalani Way, right by Hawaiian Bryant's area. There's a house in the middle of all that where it probably used to be a neighborhood or whatever, but now it's all built up. There's one little house right there. I forget what it's called, but it's a massage parlor. And you can go on these websites and they tell you like what they do and who to talk to and what the Manasan's name is and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to get into today. So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for coming in deep on YouTube already, super early. So I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to all my Patreons. You guys are special to me, and we've been hanging out, going through Sunny Sky Shady Characters. I think we're like 43 deep, so I'm going to give a quick roll call. Tamara, Bobbi, Michelle, Lay, Christina, Nanz, Shylo, Grant, Luana, Brit, Pamela, Kanoe, Danielle D, Whitney G, Brege, Taira, Kai, DK, Linc Grubbs, Pam, Marissa A, Marisa K, Mary, Cynthia, Jens Chang, the homie. Got my boy Toby, Aaron, Leighton, X-Chan, Rekka Forever, Terry Bear, Danielle, Gina, Big H, Just One, Hank Treston, Nale, Nathan, Deborah K, Bill K808, Jenna Bobenna, Karma, and Bailey. Thank you guys for coming through and supporting the channel. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can head over to Patreon right now. It's patreon.com/dougkorenic. You can sign up at any dollar amount. It's just for people that want to go through the Sunny Sky Shady Character books with us. We already did the intro and week 1, which covered chapter 1 and chapter 2. Next week, Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 6 p.m. Hawaii time, it's going to be chapter 3 and 4 for week 2. So make sure you go get your book. I got hit up from people today saying they just got their book. They wanted to sign up. So go do that. I will make the previous videos available for you guys. Those are private videos just for the Patreons to go through. Eventually, we'll probably release those in some type of a package where I'll release all of them at once on my public for people that want to go through it. But the benefit to the Patreon is that we can talk in the chat. We can do live chat. We do Zoom calls. We haven't done one yet. It'll be a couple weeks. You guys can actually have input. A lot of people on the Patreon are in the family of the people that the book talks about, know the people, or are even in the book. And so it's just a candid opportunity. We all get to talk about it and kind of go through what it was and what it meant for us and how it relates to the people of Hawaii. So if you're interested in that, head over to patreon.com. If you don't want to go through Stolen Stuff Hawaii, how's that? If you don't want to go through Sunny Sky Shitty Characters with us, you can hit me up on social media. I will leave the link to my link tree, which will have all of my social media links. I'm putting in the chat right now for you guys. And if you want to support me on Venmo, it's at dougkorenic, or CashApp is $dougkorenic. So feel free to go over and do that. It is really appreciated. You guys have been great. I've been putting in a lot of research on these videos, so I really appreciate you guys. You guys are pretty awesome. So, man, it's going off in the chat right now. Aloha le, aloha Miss Honu, Kai, Kaeo. What's up, Kaeo? How you doing, bro? Flying Hawaiian. How's it, bro? Kaeo. Doug, have you ever been to the Big Island? The Big Island is my favorite place in the whole world, Kaeo. I love Honoka'a, and I love Kamuela. My dream is to have a place in Waimea, in Kamuela. Some little farmhouse with the family, some chickens, maybe a goat. My wife wants a goat. She wants to name it Billy. And I just want to have a place in Big Island, a peaceful place in Big Island where I can take care of a community, be a part of a community. You know, the old school neighborhood vibe that's hard to find on Honolulu right now. Definitely been to Big Island. Love Big Island. Love Tex Drive-In. I'm a Paniolo at heart. What's up, Kai Lyons? Mary Palafox. Miss Honu, thank you for the new background. Yes, my wife went ahead and put this fabric on my background. I moved over to the office in our house. So thank you for saying that. I just needed more space, and sometimes she'd fall asleep, and I was recording in our room. I had this little cubby in our room, and now I moved over to the office so everybody can sleep because it's hella late, right? It's like 20 after 11 right now, p.m. Kimberly Manson, what's up, Kim? Thanks for coming through. Always out here supporting. One of the day ones. Danielle Carroll, how's it? Cynthia in the house. Shylo's over here. Taffy Sao. What's up, my brother? Thanks for coming through, man. Awesome. I appreciate you. It's one of my top chats right there. Tater Monkey. What's up, Tater Monkey? Sin City laughing at me for my call out on Bloodsport. You were on set in Hong Kong? Straight up? Bro, Bloodsport's one of my movies right there. What's up, Nanz? How you doing? Bryson Akana, thanks for coming through, bro. Said no notifications still. I'm trying to figure it out, man. I even did some research online. Couldn't figure out why they weren't going off. A lost state of mind. Choke rain in the islands last few days. Stay safe, folks. Yeah, I heard the east side's going off. Hopefully nobody got hurt in Haleiwa because I saw all that crazy stuff going on. And then Maui had big problems. Praying for you guys out there. Kim's trying to fill everybody in on me, on filling Nanz on me getting a massage. Waya'o. What's up, sir? Thanks for coming through. Goodbye says, my friend went around that time. He said his friend just threw 200 at the lady in front and told him to follow the girl to the back. He never knew to till it happened. Miss Honu, yeah, that was my detective. Worked with her later too. She was down at CRD. I would see her every day. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. What if you had a massage parlor? That's what you call it. John Lee said, stop telling all the wives. Uh-oh. Oh, Toffee Sao with the $10 gift. Thank you, Toffee. Man, you always coming through with that. He's the most generous dude in the chat. Thank you, sir. Just popped up. Thank you very much. Backdoor 206, west side in the house. Backdoor 206, that sounds like one massage parlor. Where are you going today? I'm going backdoor 206. Stay Kemoku. Backdoor 206, I got a house in Puna for sale on the super low. I bet. Probably right on top of the rocks. I got friends in Puna. I got one friend who's in my police academy who was in my class, who was from down there, and then moved back to Big Island after he got hired at HB, moved back to Big Island to become a policeman, and had to drive every day to Kona. Straight up. You drive to work. I don't know how many hours that is. John Lee said the storm is coming. Well, I'm praying for you guys, man. Daylight savings time Sunday. So Monday's time changes Hawaii Standard Time. Actually, yeah, you're right. It changes Eastern Standard Time. Good looking out. It changes Eastern Standard Time for me, but it'll go 6 hours, that's going to make it really hard. I never thought about that because it's going to be 6 hours. So I'm going to have to do them at 5 o'clock. Let me know if how bad that is to move them up an hour, or maybe half hour. Maybe move them up a half hour. I don't know. Maybe I can just do them at midnight to 1. I do that for you guys. Kyle says, that's crazy, bro. I live Waimea. Gotta say, best place to live in the state. In the state, Kyle, you being modest. In the world, Waimea. That's like Little House on the Island Prairie. Little House on the Prairie. In the middle of Hawaii. Love Big Island. That's my place. Just driving those roads. Beautiful. Brian Nono. What's up, Doug? Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, bro? Storm weather here in Oahu, Japso. Yeah, man. Be safe out there, bro. Kahalua is flooding. Where you used to stay out in Kahalua? I used to stay at Ahuimanu. Right before Waihe'e. So Ahuimanu Road, you know how it goes around. I used to stay basically right by the canal, across the freeway from that little electrical plant. And then I also used to stay, we used to stay right in, right off the Kalaniana Ole on the east side. And it always flooded over there. Kao said, when are you going to talk about the academy? That's my next one. My wife and I have been talking about that. I really got to make some time for that. I'm having a hard time. You know what I've been waiting on? I'm waiting on my taser video. One of my classmates recorded everybody getting tased, and I have the pepper spray video, but I know our taser video. I'm trying to find the taser video so I can add it to that video, and then a few more photos. I didn't take many photos because life was so serious in the academy. Just trying to stay, just trying to stay alive, just trying to survive the academy and keep my job. So I never took many photos. So I'm trying to hit up my classmates for photos, but policemen, it's hard for them to give up photos and stuff. You know what I mean? So I just hit up one of my classmates yesterday about that video again. Oh, Shylo Tavares, $20 in the gift. Thank you so much, Shylo. Thank you so much. That's awesome, Shylo. Shylo, I want to say thank you. You've always been so sweet. You always just been so great and giving, and encouraging. I'm still working out this channel, so I appreciate you guys. I really do. Sin City said, yeah, my bestie was in the movie. I attended the rap party too. JCVD wanted all the girls to sit on his lap. Oh, God. Drives me insane. He insisted on the naked butt shot. That is so funny. JCVD. When I was a kid, he was like my hero. I was in martial arts. I was doing splits on the chairs. You know what I mean? I had all the lines of the movie down. But looking back, it's like, oh, the guy's killing me. But I watched every one of his movies back in the day. Rob is from Ahuimono. Yeah, so Rob, Ahuimono Road, right by the housing. Housing on the left. You make a left on Ahuimono. The housing's on the left. On the right, get that church that had like the yurts or whatever for the homeless, or you know what I mean? It's like a trailer. Right behind the trailers, I think it's 5-acre property. I lived on the 5-acre property. I mean, I was just renting one of the houses. There was four houses, something like that. And I was friends with the Enos family. Love Ahuimono. I loved it there, and then I started having problems with somebody. I'll get into him another day. But he connected, so I'm trying to be careful how I say things because I don't want to get sued. Do all new officers in Honolulu police get stationed in Waikiki? Yep. For fourth watch. It's called fourth watch before you get patrol. So you're not stationed there, but you're there for like 3 months, walking around with your hat on with one of your B partners. But then no, you can send all over the island, or CRD, where they book all the guys. No new info on Miski yet. I know the case is coming up. I know he won a recent mini victory on being able to meet with some of his people. He was fighting for some Manini like rules about what he could and couldn't do, and that worked for him. All right. So I just wanted to get into it now that I did some housekeeping, make sure I saw you guys. Appreciate you guys coming through. So basically, I took some notes because I wanted to give you guys kind of like a rundown of their massage parlor thing. Anybody who lives in Hawaii knows Hawaii got a massage parlor problem per se. Now, this video is not going to be about the legality of massage parlors, whether or not they should be legal. We're not talking about prostitution or why it should be legal. We're talking about prostitution because that's what this is. But we're not going to talk about why it should be illegal. The same way we talked about like the gambling, because I really think it's up to the municipalities. This isn't about why it should or should not be legal. This is more so about what the massage parlors are, how they're getting away with it, where they're coming from, all that good stuff. That's what this is about. Because so many people have been asking about massage parlors, like how come they exist, how come we cannot get rid of them, things like that. So that's what we're talking about here. I'm going to leave some links in the chat for those of you. These are like just links of that. I think that only gave you one. So you can see some of my sources here that kind of explain some things. Okay, just some quick stats. So authorities say there's as many as 9,000 illegal massage parlors currently in operation in the United States in over 1,000 cities around the country. They say it's a $3 billion industry, according to the Polaris Project, which is a nonprofit that runs a national human trafficking hotline. From my experience in Honolulu, first of all, they're everywhere. Hundreds of them. I don't know how many, but tons of them. At least in Honolulu. I know I'm going to have in Maui and Big Island and maybe even Kauai. I doubt Kauai, but you never know. Maybe, because probably you get a bunch of old white guys out there. And for whatever reason, that's always been who I find as clients in those places. Most of the prostitutes that I should say girls, because I bet you there are a few in there that haven't done that or are new. But most of the girls in these massage parlors are from China, Korea, Japan, Thailand, I know Taiwan, Philippines. And they're usually like 30 to 50, typically. And usually they came to the country illegally. Like what they'll do is they'll get like bogus visas. And they're only supposed to stay for 90 days or whatever, and they just end up staying. Most of them are really in debt. The reason why is they're in these countries like starving, can't find anything to do to make money. They're either like getting beat or enslaved or persecuted or whatever, and they're trying to leave their country. So what they do is they find these like travel agent type people. They're basically like coyotes. They're like mules. They're like people who human traffic. And sometimes they're disguised as travel agents. And they basically make them a deal. They say, hey, I'll make the connects. I'll get you to the US. This is like the dream, the American dream waiting for you. And you're going to owe me. You're going to pay me this much now. You're going to owe me when you get there. You're going to pay me every month or whatever. And then that's an important thing to remember, because that's how it becomes organized crime. That's how this becomes human trafficking. Make no mistake about it. If it's a massage parlor and it's illegal, which 99% of them are, if you ask me, maybe 95, I'm being conservative. 95% of them have illegal prostitution. And of those illegal prostitution, 100% of them in Hawaii are human trafficking. And the majority of them are involved in organized crime or racketeering that would fall under RICO charges, because most of these places own more than one. So these guys are in debt already. So they paid like 10 grand to this guy to get him to the US. Then they're supposed to pay him another 10 grand, right? And as soon as they land, they are coming here. A lot of them are being scammed. A lot of them think they're going to go into nursing. A lot of them think they're going to go into housekeeping, things like that, retail. But when they get here, they find out that's not the case at all. And then within a week, they're working at massage parlors. Some of them do end up making it out, and they go work at restaurants and things like that. But anybody who works in hospitality knows there's no money, right? They're working at the hotel. They're trying to be a server. They don't speak the language, and people aren't tipping very well, so they're not making enough money. And they're supposed to be paying money back to the dude that sent them there, who, by the way, the person that they work for works for the dude who sent them there, paid that guy. So they can't make the money back. So they got to make good money. So then they find out through their friends that, you know what, you can go work at a massage parlor and make tons of money. That's usually a lie too, because they're not making that much money. So they get sent to these places. The most common method for smuggling women in Asian countries was either fraudulent tourist visas or fraudulent work visas for nursing work. what happens is they'll come for like 90 days and then they'll overstay their visa. Now they need a place to stay and they can't get a legit legal job because their visa has expired. Many are recruited locally using Chinese, Thai, Filipino, Korean language newspapers. And then there's certain apps you use like, what's it called? WeChat. There's that WeChat app. And they'll make the connects there. And then some of them are pressured by, say, boyfriends or whatever. Those eventually become pimps. One thing that you'll notice from full-blown prostitutes is that they think that their pimp is their boyfriend. They'll never call him their pimp. They're always saying my man. He always calls him my girl. But you find out he's usually got more than one girl. Many of them are lured into working in massage parlors by the travel agency broker who helped secure their visas to travel to the U.S. And then what happens is they tell them it's not safe for you to keep your passport on you because people get robbed in the U.S. So we'll hold on to the passport for you. And then now these girls are screwed. They got nothing. They got no ID, nothing. They don't speak the language. Now they're stuck. And it happens within days. The traffickers create false backstories, giving women the appearance of the established life at home, including a spouse, a bank account, all to help them qualify for a tourist visa. They even produce fake diplomas from massage schools. They'll usually run up a tab of $40,000 to $60,000 for one of these massage parlor girls. They'll invest all this money, and these girls got to pay $40,000, $60,000. These poor girls who don't speak English, they're coming over here for a better life. Now they're stuck. No more passport. So the women oftentimes they call them flowers, like the organized crime guys, these organizations, they'll call them flowers. They'll say that when we catch some of them, like sometimes they get arrested or whatever, and 99% of the time they don't say nothing. They're loyal. Plus they're scared. Think they're going to get in trouble. But in America, they don't get beat for this kind of stuff. But in their countries, like they could get in big trouble. Not to mention they still got families back there that they're trying to support. But a lot of these women are forced to work at these massage parlors. They don't get to choose where. They don't get to choose how long. They don't get to choose with who. They just send in Johns in the door. Johns are coming in. The Johns pick the girl. The girl has to do what she's got to do. So most of the ones that I know of in Hawaii, how they run them, is the girl can't leave that place by herself. She's got to stay in that store, and they got cameras everywhere. Cameras in multiple cameras every room, front door, back door, all different angles, and they're watching these girls from remote locations because they might have 5. Because let's be honest, the dudes that are running these shows, they don't want to be around. So they got cameras running with the streams going to their house. And they might be watching 5 stores at once. Because if the cops come through, they're not there. And they're watching these girls. So a lot of times these girls can't leave without what they call a runner. Someone that runs them around. But they can do whatever they want within the store. And most of the time they have to stay there. Like, dude, these girls will sleep on the same beds that they're turning tricks on. They're doing massages on these beds, doing extra stuff, full service, and then they're sleeping there at night or in some other room with the lights off. And they usually have a suitcase that just has their clothes. And you know what I mean? That's it. Like these girls are straight up being trafficked. They're like property. Typically, the price for like a massage will be advertised $60, and that's for an hour. Like if you just Google how much is a massage in Hawaii, it'll be $60, and that's like a legit price. And I remember when we went to that massage school, it was $30, and they always said this is half. You'll pay half here because they're still getting their hours. And now that I think about it, I bet you those girls have to go to that school to get certified, but then as soon as they get certified, they get released from the school, they go work for the Mama San. Is what I'm thinking. And of that $60, those girls, I mean, if they get anything, it's like $1, $5, something like that, of that $60. Where they make their money is in the tips. And the only way to get better tips is to make the guy happier. So between tips and full service type stuff, happy endings, the more they do that, the more they make money. If you have, 4 or 5 girls in a place and you're taking $60 an hour and you're running 10, 12 guys a day, think about that. Thousands of dollars every day. And you don't got to do nothing. You got to feed, you bring your own food, then you charge the girls. So you'll have like the mama sons will buy all the food and whatever, but these girls, they'll have to pay for their room. Like they'll have to pay like $10 a night or whatever for the room. They'll have to pay $20 a day for food. They have to buy toiletries, things like that from their own money. So they'll pay them the stuff that they do pay them. Then they got to turn around and pay for all that other stuff. A lot of times the mama san is what you call the girl that runs it. She's like the manager. She doesn't own it. She's like a puppet. So if you ever run into a mama san, they're usually they're like 60, 70-year-old Korean ladies. And usually they've been doing this for 20, 30 years, decades. And they usually started out like being a working girl. And then eventually what happens is they stick around long enough and they learn the trade, like how to bring the girls in, how to make them feel comfortable, how to trick them or whatever. And then pretty soon they turn them around and they're turning them out. That's the term when you turn them out. It's basically like now they're straight prostitutes. So these are the mama sons that can gain trust and whatever, but it is like slavery. It's really what it is. It's like a slave owner. But they don't usually own the whole place. That's how these structures work. Usually the mama san who's basically like a site manager, like she's like the foreman essentially. She'll be on the paperwork. She'll like with the city, with the business license, she'll be the massage parlor owner. It'll say her name on there for whatever. If it's like Orchid Massage or whatever, it'll be under the mama san's name. But that's really just like a shell company. She's like a front man. Because all that money will go to the owner. And in business, that's called a beneficial owner. In business, that's like a silent partner, right? Who has a stake, but doesn't do any of the operating. That's where organized crime comes in. That's where people that own all these work. And think about what they're doing. They're trafficking girls. It is impossible to be a patron of prostitution in Hawaii and not support organized crime and human trafficking. That's what it is. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, I don't like human trafficking, but I still want to see a prostitute. In Hawaii, it's all human trafficking. A very little percentage, and I'm talking like less than 1% of the girls are local girls. They're flying to Hawaii. Beautiful, beautiful girls too. They're finding like model status girls, bringing them out here because this is where the money is. Especially when there's conventions. Any place you get big conventions, you got businessmen paying big money. Especially the Japanese men, Japanese tourists, they spend tons of money. I've said it before on the channel. I talked to prostitutes who would say like whatever their full service is for like a white dude, let's call it $300, $350. It could be $3,000 for the same stuff for a Japanese dude. Same girl, same stuff, but Japanese. Because they know he's willing to spend and he's going to be shamed if he gets caught. So a lot of times they get robbed. They rob these guys. Then the guys don't make police reports because they're shamed. And a lot of them are lured in with this idea of like a shower. They'll shower the guy or whatever. As soon as he gets in the shower, they just take his stuff and dip. And what you'll notice, a lot of these places, a lot of these massage parlors, you get ATM machines in the bottom with the cameras because it's convenient. They want you to have cash. It's kind of hard to run a prostitution ring when you're taking credit card. You know what I mean? The problem with the reason these things still exist, and a few of you have already said it in the chat, like it's hard. We'll never get rid of it, especially in Hawaii. I don't see us ever getting rid of it. But one of the things that's hard about getting like a handle on it, especially from a law enforcement perspective, is we don't know much about the behind the scenes. People don't talk. And the businesses are hidden behind shell companies that pay money to other shell companies that are in China, Japan, the mainland, California. And we don't have any mainland banks in Hawaii, and there's no Hawaii banks in the mainland. There's no Bank of Hawaii in the mainland, and there's no Bank of America in Hawaii. We have 0 mainland banks in America. The only thing we get is the military banks. So it's hard for them to investigate the financial stuff. And a lot of these people are fake, like fake names. The other thing is like these places I told you there's like 5, 6 of them. They'll have a driver or a runner who drives these girls around. So what they do is they switch the girls around. So every 2 weeks or whatever, the girls will go to a different massage parlor. They always mix them up so that the girls cannot plan escapes, and so that you don't see the same girls over and over and over, because they don't want customers developing relationships with them and trying to get them out of it, which happens. So these networks are like 2 or 3 layers deep. They'll move a group of girls. They'll mix them all up, go to 5 different massage parlors, and then they'll send them to a different group of massage parlors owned by another dude. He'll pay for them just like slaves. It's a trip. It's a trip how that works. One of the ways that the people who like run the show, the ones that really own it, not the mama-sans, but the ones above them, they can claim ignorance. They're not there. All they got to say is, bro, I run a massage parlor. These girls aren't supposed to be doing that. Here's my, code of conduct for my business. I didn't know they were doing that. And then landlords, they say the same thing. I have one lady who calls me even to this day, because I had called her one day and said, hey, I need you to start locking your gate at the corner of Nu'uanu Vineyard, the Makai Cocoa Head corner. There's like this office building. It's like behind the Papa John's. And I called the landlord once and told her, hey, the prostitutes, the mahous are taking Johns up your stairway. I said, do you lock the stairway at night? She said, yeah, it's automatic locks. I said, well, they're open. Every time I check them, they're open. She's like, well, somebody must be leaving them open. So then one of my snitches that was like, who would help me tell me where people were at, if there's new people in town or somebody I was looking for, or if there was one gun stolen or a shooting or whatever, we called them queens. The queens would help us out. And we knew their hustle. We knew what they were out there doing. Like, we see them standing out there, right? And it was one of those things where, like, if she held down her neighborhood, she held down her area, and people weren't getting hurt, and there wasn't crime, cars getting broken into and whatever, like, there's no reason for me to be over there. I know I'm not going to stop what she's doing. She's going to take it inside. So it's not an agreement, but it's more so like a compromise where we knew what they were doing. And sure, if we worked hard enough to like dig deep into and do surveillance and all this kind of stuff, we'd catch them. But they're going to get on prostitution charge, $100 bailout. It's a ticket. It ain't even an arrest, really. Some petty misdemeanor. So it's too much work to put into such a small effect. And these girls don't have pimps. The mahus from like Kamamalu in the Chinatown area, they don't have pimps. They do work for themselves. And they're brutal. The queens were the most brutal girls on the strip, on the stroll. If there was I remember a new girl came out and I was like, what are you doing here? She did not look like she was like she belonged in Chinatown. And I said, what are you doing over here as a Holly girl? And she's like, I'm new over here. I got kicked off my stroll in Waikiki. I got to come out here and make some money. And I was like, yo, this is not the place. It's rough out here for new girls. And she was a real girl. And I was like, this is not the spot. And she's like, honey, I know what I'm doing. I was like, okay. And sure enough, she didn't last 6 hours for the girls jumped on her. And she was off the stroll, disappeared. You know what I mean? Probably flew back to Cali or wherever she was from. And I said all that to say, like, it was brutal out there. And the massage parlor was leaving the door open, the gated lock. You know how they have those open hallways? Hawaii, you get plenty of those open walk-ups. Well, they'd have a gate that was locked, and it was ceiling to floor, so you couldn't walk up. But the massage parlors would leave them open. They'd unlock them, or they put something there so it wouldn't click shut. Well, then all night, the Mahous could bring their Johns up the stairway all the way to the top and do whatever they're doing at the top of the staircase where nobody was at, basically by the roof. And I kept seeing them up there. And so I called the landlord and I was like, yo, you got to figure something out. This is what's happening. You got a massage parlor on this first floor, and then you got the Mahous taking their Johns up to the thing. She said, we don't have a massage parlor. I said, listen, I'm telling you, you got a massage parlor. She's like, which one? I told her a unit. She said, that's not a massage parlor. That's just a norm. That's just she said, that's not illegal. That's like normal massage. I was like, why they got 2 cameras on the front door? One facing the door and one facing away from the door. She's like, I just figured they were crazy about security. They were paranoid. I said, no, that's a illegal massage parlor. She didn't believe me. So I let it go. A couple months later, the feds hit the place. It was all over the news. She hits me up like, yo, what do I got to do? I didn't know, like, they got hit up. Like, what do I do here? What's the next steps? I want to kick them out. It's like, I don't know. That's civil stuff at this point. It's like landlord tenant stuff. You can kick them. You figure out how you want to kick them out. Like, I don't know. But I tried to tell you. And that was like a realization that so many people who even own the buildings don't know. You know what I mean? Or at least, this girl didn't own the building, I'll say. She managed the building. But I bet you the owner knew. And he just told her to let them in. Let them lease from us. So that was a trip. And it's so misunderstood because the women don't want to speak about it. They don't even tell their lawyers. Bro, some of them have lawyers from like the mainland, like Cali. That's how you know it's organized crime. That's how you know it's human trafficking. Because we'll have girls get arrested, and then we'll get a call from the attorney who's in California. It's like, I'm her attorney, which means that whoever owns her essentially pays this attorney, right, on retainer to take care of if his girls get arrested. Think about that. That's a trip. And a lot of them fear retaliation. That's why they don't say anything. So they're not going to snitch on the people that did this to them because they're the ones that got them to the U.S. They're the ones, they kind of owe them, not to mention, these guys also know where their families live. Can you imagine, you leave China, you go to the U.S., you leave Korea, you go to the U.S., then you snitch on somebody, and these people go back, they know where your kids are? Whew. That's heavy. There's a lot of websites that people use to basically find these places. They get shut down all the time, then they come back up. But they got, I have a list of some that I remember. Apple Spa, Massage Palace, Swan Spa, Pine Tree Relaxation, Ambrosia, Golden, Asian Spa, Beach Spa, Orchid Spa, Kings, Sakura, Moon Spa, Asian Body, Cherry Spa, Healthy Angel, Smile Spa, Heavenly Spa, Cute Spa, Vanilla Spa, Bangkok Therapy, Dynasty Spa, Spa Queen, Happy Ending Spa, Pink Massage, Sweetheart Spa. And there was a website that was called rubmaps.com, and it got shut down, kind of like Backpages, but that was tons of Century Center ones. Top Spa, Hula Girl, Llama Spa, Paradise, Dragonfly, Nirvana. And you could go to these, when I was undercover, what was this one dude's name? Toby, forget his name, he was on Pimp. Anyway, he advertised all his girls on Facebook, and those same girls would be on the, what was that? Was it Craigslist? Might have been Craigslist. And they would just advertise. But then they talk in code. So they'd say things that they had code words for things. So it'd be like, well, you guys can let your imaginations work on that one. But I wrote down a few of them. AAMP was apartment Asian massage parlor. So it's one of those ones that's like in a regular apartment. It's not in like a business, you know what I mean? It's like in a residential apartment. They call them AMPs, AMPs, Asian massage parlors. DDE. I remember DDE was doesn't do extras. So that was like, we're clean, we're legit. But we know what's going on. You know what I mean? Let me see. Kaibo says, I remember when I used to live on Oahu, they busted my neighbor's house up at St. Louis Heights. I think they were running a whorehouse or something. Yeah. FS was full service. FOB. There was in-calls and out-calls. In-calls is when you meet the girl at her place, like a hotel room that the pimp bought or whatever. But an out-call is when you go to the parlor. And I remember there were girls that worked at the parlor who also did in-calls when they weren't in the studio. You know what I mean? They would advertise, because you'd see them advertising. You'd see them on the advertisements for the massage parlor, but then you'd also see them personal advertisement. And I remember in like 2015, 2016, it was getting really bad. That's when I noticed that it was really getting bad. That was probably the worst of it. You know what I mean? When out of nowhere, it just like became a thing. And it was so out in the open and so wild at the time. And people just couldn't believe like it was out there, let alone the ones in Waikiki, like the ones that were walking the strip. Like that's its own different beast. But the ones that were doing the massage parlors was like, and I remember I talked to a pastor friend of mine, and he would say like he couldn't believe how many dudes from the church had come to his office to get help because they were addicted to going to these massage parlors. They would spend their whole check at the massage parlor. They work for 2 weeks, then go spend their check in the massage parlor. And they were addicted to it. These are like normal dudes. But they're everywhere. And then that's just like for the local dudes. But can you imagine the tourism? Like people go out to Hawaii, it's like this exotic place. They're on vacation. They're just gonna let loose, you know what I mean? Sin City said, men so quiet in the chat. Wow, the chat was going off. Doug, I'm a current officer with South Salt Lake PD. I want a lateral to HPD. I've been watching your videos and wanted to ask why you left law enforcement. What do you think of working? HPD was great, bro. HPD was great. I left because that was the move for me. I had a money move. Trying to make some moves out here. I had a great opportunity. And my family's all here. My wife's family's all here. And we got babies that need their grandparents. And got to start taking care of the family. But I'll be back. But I don't want to go. I wouldn't go into law enforcement anywhere else. It's amazing. You can make so many different places. There's like 50 different places you can go. Fly helicopter, work ITD, SWAT. You can work with the dogs, ride ATVs, bike, solo bike. You go traffic, narco, you name it. You could go there. It's just a blast. They just started taking laterals too. I mean, there was no laterals up until like last year, as far as I remember. Just last year they started lateraling. Before you could not lateral. but now they're opening up some program. I don't know how, how that's going, but I know you can do them now. Knew some of the girls from my old job. They talk scary stuff, talk about bringing straight dudes to the hotel, mostly the ones that like buy dope, beat them up, do the thing. Yeah. You know what? One thing that I noticed is soldiers, a lot of times, like if I was working Waikiki, I remember soldiers all bust, walking around, barely can make it, like stepping in and out of the roadway, eyes closed, got their wallet in their pocket. And then I'd see the girl, the queens, not what the soldiers were looking for. The queens would walk next to them, start talking to them. Before you know it, they're hopping in a car, going to the hotel or whatever. And these dudes had no idea. They're just crazy drunk. And I remember doing reports where soldiers beat up a queen or a queen beat up a soldier because he tried to flex on him because when he found out it was a dude. So that was a trip. I remember hearing that a lot. But then you also get ones that's what they want. You know what I mean? It's a trip. And oftentimes you find dudes that couldn't pick up girls in Waikiki. Like they tried all night. They're out at Moose's and they're out at Play Bar, Zanzibar, Shack. What's the one next to Moose's? The Irish one. I forget what that's called. But they'd be out there and basically couldn't get girls. And then by the end of the night, they're lonely. They're walking home. So they end up getting on prostitute. So that happens all the time. Kelly's, there you go. Yeah. Kelly O'Neill's, right? Kelly O'Neill's, something like that. And I used to work that McDonald's special duty job all the time, so I'd watch them. I'd literally go people watch. See, plenty of officers would go sit in the back. I would do that when I would eat. Or if it got too busy on the inside, I'd go sit back there so I could see everybody. But if it wasn't that busy, I'd go stand out front and just watch people. So if you guys ever seen Holly Cop standing out front McDonald's Kuhio on Friday, Saturday night, it was probably me. And I would just stand there and watch because it's hilarious to watch. Just people watch. Because it's going off in the street. So that was good times. Someone said, wasn't there a time where HPD could actually sleep with the prostitutes? No, that was never allowed. Despite what people say, never allowed. That's one thing that the news got wrong. I don't know. But there wasn't a policy. We didn't have a policy that said they couldn't. But we had, like, our standard of conduct wouldn't let us do that. But I will say that the girls are smart enough. A lot of girls, what they do in their cop check, when they're doing a cop check, there's this myth that you have to, if you ask policemen, they have to tell you they're a policeman. That's a lie. That's definitely not the case. But when they do their cop checks, a lot of times they do is they just grab the cop straight up. And I only did one prostitution op. I did them in Waikiki, and they arrested the girl before she got to the hotel room. They were standing by. I was in fourth watch with my class, and I had to pick up a girl. And the first two knew I was a cop, and it was the third one. She was from California, I think, and you could tell she didn't know. She was out of her league. She didn't know what was going on. I screwed up a few times on things I said. She never catch them, and I remember thinking, like, oh, I'm going to blow my cover. We were standing out on Kuhio, and eventually I got the violation I needed. Like, I needed her to be able to say some things, and once she said them, I knew I had the violation. So as soon as I got the violation, I remember she said, one of the things they would do is they would say, where are you staying, or why are you in Hawaii? And I told her, I'm here for convention, for a business convention. She said, oh, which one? And I said, I'm at the convention center. I just made it up, but thank God she didn't know what was at the convention center. But the first couple had asked, like, where are you staying, or where's your convention? I told them, like, oh, you at this convention? They knew what convention. And And because I got it wrong, they knew I was a policeman. But this third girl, she didn't know to ask. I think she was new. And she asked me all these questions. And I remember her saying, what hotel are you staying in? And I knew that was going to happen because they told me that was going to happen. So I went to the hotel. Was it the Aqua? I went over to the Aqua. I went to the front desk and I said, hey, I badged on. I said, I'm a policeman. Is there any way I can get a key card? You don't got to put a key access to any of it. I just need a key card. And she said, yeah. So she gives me a key card. So when I'm out there, I tried to, after I'm talking to the girl and I get the violation, she's like, all right, what hotel you staying? I said, I'm staying at the Aqua. And she said, let me see your card. So I pulled it out and showed it to her. And then she bought it. She believed me. In Fourth Watch, you're forced to do those things, really. Like in Fourth Watch, you're like the good, you're the one who is supposed to do whatever they ask. And so you had to do prostitution things, you had to do peddling things, you had to do drug buys because you're new, nobody knows you. You know what I mean? You're recently a cop, so you're not seen out on the street. And then I remember when as soon as I got the violation and I showed her my card, we start walking, and I went down Kuhio and she cut across the street and went to go behind the hotel. She said, I'm not allowed, I'm 86 from the hotel, but I can get in the back door. I just can't walk through the front door because they 86 me. So she must take John's there. No joke. She says, what room are you staying in? And I was just like, 186. The girl says, 186? She's like, I'm surprised you didn't see me because we staying 189. Literally like the next door over. What if I accidentally name her room? You know what I mean? So could have screwed that up a lot. But basically, as soon as I got the violation, I went one way. She said, I'm not going to go with you. I'm going to go through the back door. So she cut down the other way. And as soon as she cut through the parking lot, I had the policeman waiting there. And I gave the signal. My signal was to drink out of my water bottle. So I had a water bottle. And if they saw me drinking, so they're supposed to be watching me with binos. And I'm drinking. As soon as I got it, I walk away. I'm trying to drink. I drank the whole bottle. It's one of those big bottles of water, the extra large bottles of water. And I remember freaking out. I was like, I hope they see that I got the violation. They arrest her, because if I get to the hotel, you know what I mean, and she's not arrested, I'll be tripping. So I'm drinking real fast. And then these two people walk by me. It's a haole guy and a haole girl that I'd never seen before wearing jeans. They walk by real fast. They go, you get the violation? You get the violation? I remember thinking, who are you? Like, I didn't even know who these people were. Apparently they were undercover from Narco Vice. And I just kept drinking my water. And the water runs out. Now I'm drinking the bottle, no more water. And then as soon as we came around the corner, I seen the policeman arrest her. And she got arrested, and there was $100 bail or whatever. It's a petty misdemeanor. She was from California. She had been arrested before for it. And she never turned on her pimp. But the pimps in Waikiki, they ride around on mopeds sometimes. And because mopeds have different legal, for driving a moped, it's easier with insurance and reg and stuff like that. A lot of them walk around. And a lot of them will stay up in the hotels and just look down on the stroll, and they know where the girls are at. And if you ever see them, they're always on the phone. The girls usually walk on the phone until they see a John, and they walk up to him, and just a lot of times they'll grab his arm and like walk next to him. But that's the girls that work the street. That's like a whole nother culture. The massage parlor is a whole different deal. But sometimes there's crossover. You get runners there too, but they run the money back and forth from the girls. But in the massage parlors, the runners are the ones that basically like drive them around, move them from one massage parlor to the next. So since I've been back, I see at least every month there's like some kind of raid on a massage parlor. They're usually human trafficked. They find passports, robbers. They find like all the paraphernalia that you'd see. And these girls are living in squalor. It's actually pretty sad. So let me get to some of these comments real quick. 12:11. I got 6 minutes. We're going to do an hour and 15 tonight, guys. And I'll get a lot of people, so I might not be able to get to everybody. Yeah, Young Street get plenty. Keomoku. See, I have I got some right here that I marked up that I remembered. Get that Yokohama on Keomoku. It's up past Beretania. And then got Ichiban. That's the one on Keomoku. Oh, you guys remember where Panda Cuisine used to be? Not Panda Express, Panda Cuisine. They knocked down the building recently. It was across from Walmart. They used to have tons of stuff in there, but Ichiban Spa and Relaxation was in there. If you go to a Happy Massage has them, like calls them out. Tokyo Spa, that's on Ward Ave. That's on the bottom of Ward. Ambrosia, that's Kalakaua. That's up on Century Center. They just got jammed. Ambrosia just got jammed up. 7 Relaxation, that's on Kalakalani. That's that house I was telling you about by Hawaiian Brian's. Across from Hawaiian Brian's. People park in front of them all the time. Nirvana Massage, that's on Young. Ginza on Queen Street. Got those. I've been in there before. I accidentally walked in there. Somebody broke into a place, and I was a rookie. I just came to District 1. I was looking for surveillance footage. No, I was FTO. I was riding around with my field training, and the field training guy said, "Go over there and start asking for people with if they got cameras." And I'll never forget. I knocked on this door, went inside, and it was all shady and dark. It had cameras everywhere. And all of a sudden, the door opens behind me, and my supervisor pulled me out. He goes, "What you doing?" He said, "You told me that I'm looking for surveillance footage." She's like, "Bro, you just walk into a massage parlor." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, like you gotta have cover. You gotta have somebody with you." And I didn't know. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It's dangerous walking there. Security with guns and whatever, especially out on Queen Street." So you never know. You don't want to surprise somebody and then get shot. Kisan Massage on Beretania. Oh, right by Grace's. You guys know Grace's Inn? God, I love that place. The food is crazy over there. Love the food. Over by Grace's. We used to go Grace's all the time. I work daytime. Pine Tree Relaxation. That's on Keomoku. VIP's on Keomoku. 655 Keomoku. So 655 is south of Rycroft, because how Keomoku is broken up is you got 3 blocks going from Kapilani up to King Street. And it goes the 600s, the 700s, the 800s, 900s. And the top by King Street is the 900s. That's why you get 939, because it's actually 939 Keomoku. That's the address. I'll never forget, a policeman went on the radio one day, like a motorman, and he said, "Hey, anybody know the address to Club 939? And I answered on the radio. I didn't know it was a joke. I'm on the radio. I said, "I think it's 939 Keomoku." Everybody's laughing at me. We used to have fights over there all the time at 929. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, goodbye. Hey, Doug, Kaibo 7, need your opinion on a legal issue. Read the chat if Canberra. Goodbye. Where's that at? Kaibo 7. Can 600 for a lawyer. I don't know. I said, hope so. State troopers here. County I got pulled over and is having an online court. I plan on a plea deal. Hopefully gets dismissed or reduced. Doug, I got a speeding ticket last week in Oregon. Should I pay the ticket or fight him? Kaibo, you know, it depends. I always say fight him. Always fight him. But that's Hawaii. Now, Portland, I think, is the same district, you know. I think Portland's still 9th Circuit. But either way, it's always worth fighting if you have time. However, what if you got to leave work? right? You got to take the day off work, lose all that money, all that other stuff, just to chance them. It might not be worth it. You know what I mean? That's kind of up to you. But it's a good chance if you fight them. Now, remember, Hawaii's different than Oregon. But with with Hawaii, you fight them. Definitely fight them. It's so easy to get off on tickets in Hawaii. But with online court, I don't even know, that changes things too. Right? Because online court, you can't be there and see the judge, and it's all online. I don't know. I wish I could give you better advice. But, and it's state troopers. Like, state troopers are out there giving tickets. That's what they do. Oregon state troopers, they're out there. Like, if you get pulled over by a state trooper, he's out there doing traffic. Same thing in Hawaii. In Hawaii, if you get pulled over by a traffic cop, you're going to get the ticket. And you can fight him all you want. That's all he does. He's an expert at it. So he's heard every excuse. He's had every rebuttal. He knows what to say. He's been through them all. So when he stopped you, he saw the different things he needed to see that he knew that you won't be able to fight. Like, they're really good and proficient at it. But if it's a normal, like, patrol cop that gets you for something, like, because it's not speeding, because they don't usually carry around lasers. Just a normal patrol cop, but he got you going through a red light or something that he could do without having that device. Like, those you got to fight them for sure. If you go to court, though, and you don't have, like, in Oregon, they might make you pay the court costs. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So $600 for a lawyer, bro. Well, it must be a ticket that you're gonna lose your license or something, yeah. Because it ain't worth it, bro. If you got to pay $150 for the ticket, pay the ticket. Don't pay $600 for a lawyer. But if it's like reckless driving or a DUI or whatever, that's worth it because you don't want to lose your license. Leighton laughing at me for drinking my empty bottle. I was panicking, bro. I didn't want to show up at the hotel and then the girl actually be there. Like, what if I was nervous already when you're a rookie? Sorry, guys. I wasn't looking at the chat when I was talking. I see that Kai Bull and Goodbye were trying to get my attention. My bad. Thanks for shouting him out, though. I didn't know. And thank you for that $10. Goodbye. I appreciate you, bro. Rob Foster said, wow, Gussie's. I think you're talking about Gussie Lamore's, yeah? Aloha, Kaibo. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for asking the questions. Hope I helped, bro. DM me if you got any more questions. Find me on Instagram. You can shoot me a DM. I'll try to help you out. Why? Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming through. Pretty Pebble says, what should you do if you on a motorcycle and you don't trip the traffic light and there are no cars? There's no tripping, though, in Hawaii. There is those panels, the sensors, but that speeds it up. But they're still on a timer. So legally, you're supposed to wait. But I know guys that'll make the right and then turn somewhere and then come back, make another right just to go straight. But I just charge them, to be honest. If it's nighttime, nobody there, legally you're not supposed to do it. But what are you gonna do? Wait there all day? How do I approach the case? Kai said. Depends on what kind of case, honestly, Kai. 18 over, was following a truck in front of me going same speed. The patrol cop was going opposite direction. Huh. I'd fight him. Yeah, I'd fight him. He was going the opposite direction, Kai. But 18 over, I mean, I don't know what does that do for you? How much is the ticket? The ticket can't be that much. It comes down to money at that point. I don't know what the traffic laws are in Oregon. I don't know if you get more points for more being over more. You know what I mean? RKKK. Hey, hit me up. DM me on Instagram or Facebook, whatever. I keep seeing your name. You keep telling me to hit you up, but you got to DM me. And then I know you wanted advice. You wanted to talk about something. So hit me up. I'd love to do that for you, bro. Hi, you too. Good looking out. Goodbye. Looking out for Kai. I wouldn't have seen it. I wouldn't have noticed it until I seen the yellow. Smart dude. Hawaii Massage Parlors advertise on bed page now. Bed page. So maybe that's the new back page. You're welcome, Kai. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through and hanging out. Leighton Pohano. Solid brother. Goodbye. Thanks, Leighton. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Hannah Driscoll. Finally see you live. Thanks, Hannah. Hannah's one of our newest subs, guys. Make sure you show Hannah some love. She's been super nice with her words. She's been encouraging, commenting on my videos. She's catching up on episode 1, episode 2, trying to watch some of the videos. She's been real open-minded, just like the rest of you guys. I think she's going to be a good fit over here. And Kyle says, Doug, what you know about Hawaii County Police? I don't know, but I have friends over there. I have 2 friends over there. I believe still 2. Maybe he came back to HPD, but I got 1 over there. He taught me a lot, that guy. But he worked Kona. I think he might work Waimea now. I think he moved to Waimea. But I don't know much. I tried to make it over there, and they didn't take me. I applied for Big Island, and I don't know what happened. RKKK, say you know more. You know more Facebook. Or if you get your phone, you could just email me at doug@dougkorenic.com. Yeah, 165, Kaibo. Pay him. No points, 165. Pay him, Kai. It's not going to hurt you none. I mean, I get it. Like, but you say you were speeding. So, you know what I mean? You were speeding. Why not just pay the 165? And then no more points, nothing. RRKK, I just took your message off because it was your phone number, boo. Cannot put your phone number on the chat. Everybody going to be calling you. I got your number. You hit me up earlier, so. You live in Texas now. Go Kyle. Nanz says, hi, Hannah. Sin City, thank you. Yeah, goodbye. I agree. Just Pam. Yeah, I don't have episode 3 yet. I'm working on it. I just told the guys I'm waiting for some extra footage of when I got tasered. So my episode 3 will be about my experience in Academy. And I'm working on that now. So stay tuned. I'll make sure I get to it. All right, guys. That's it. I'm at like 100. I'm like an hour, 25 minutes or whatever. So I'm gonna have to call it a night. I got to get to bed. Got to wake up early in the morning. But I just want to say I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. What a team. We come out here, talk story. It warms my heart really to hang out with you guys, talk about Hawaii, answer your questions, help in any way I can, and then explain this stuff from my perspective. If you got questions or you got comments, leave them in the chat. I'm about to close the chat right now, so you can comment on the video. It takes 24 hours for this video to load. So I know some people were like, hey, how come I cannot comment on the video? That's because it's a live chat right now, but as soon as I end it, it will post as a video. And it takes about 24 hours because this one's long. So stay tuned. You can send me DMs on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And you can find my link tree. I left it in the chats. So I do appreciate you guys. You're the best. And I've been having a blast. Thank you for coming out and for all the support to my Patreon guys. Monday, don't forget, Monday night. But it's probably going to be, it'll be the same time. I'll just stay up late. If something changes, I'll DM you guys in the Patreon. Those of you who want to go through Sunny Sky Shady Characters with us, make sure you head over to my Patreon and drop $1. We got people dropping $1, $5, $10, $20, $40, and $50. Whatever works for you. It's not about the money for me. If you want to bless me, that's awesome. But it's really just about knowing who wants to go through the book. And a lot of you are saying, is it too late? It's not too late. I will send you the links to the videos that we already did. Just catch up. And then you can pick up where we left off. You can join us in the chat and maybe even that Zoom call if you get in time. So, man, I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all you. I'm grateful. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are the best. So be safe out there, everybody who's getting rained out. I'll be praying for you. My wife and my babies, we pray at dinner time. We'll be praying for Hawaii, that nobody loses their houses, that nobody gets hurt, and that it's all good over there, that the rain clouds go away and you guys get that sun back. So mahalos. Thank you for coming through. And until the next time, aloha, guys. Shoots.